Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another TFL extravaganza. The soccer tournament's quite over, quite in the books. And so we move on to the other type of footy as Luca looks at me with his crazy eyes. And I guess we should get right to it. Luca is back. Luca is back from his reconstructive surgery after the
incident with the
duck at the park. People were concerned. There was a lot of fan mail asking about your whereabouts. Welcome back, Luca. And returning
Thank
yet
you.
again.
I'm happy to be back.
Oh, well, that is terrific. That is terrific.
We need to cut the G. I can't deal with
I don't know
that nickname. When Jer is such a fantastic nickname.
You can call me Jer. This is
ironed in. I'm going to keep it Jer.
All right. Sounds good.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, that's settled. G or Jer will work. We can probably just sign off now. Things have been established. But no, we're going to forge on here. This is our NFL division preview. We're going to go division by division here, look at some odds, look what we like, what we don't like. And I'll ask you gentlemen some questions, and perhaps we'll be joined by some guests along the way. But let's get this adventure started. And we'll get started in the AFC North. Interesting division, definitely. G, do you have the odds open there for who is favored to win that division, and give us some information on that?
Yes. So this is a deep division. A lot of potential options for the winner. Baltimore is the odds-on favorite at plus 125 to win the division. And it's followed pretty closely by Cincinnati, plus 165. Then you have the Browns at plus 550, and the Steelers, who always seem to hang around at plus 700.
Okay, some interesting numbers there. We'll start with those Steelers because they got some interesting stories in the offseason. Acquiring two quarterbacks, Fields, Wilson. So that's definitely going to be a storyline heading into the season and throughout the season. But before getting your comments on that, Mike Tomlin, 17 years streak of 500 or better seasons in the NFL. Insane streak to have. 17 years. Will he make it 18 with this squad? What do you guys think? Luke, I'll start with you.
I mean, I don't see why he can't squeak out like a 9-8 season. They always make it happen. I don't think they come close to winning the division. But I think they have the pieces outside of quarterback to be contender. Like they always play every team tough. He's one of the best coaches of his generation. At quarterback, though, I don't know, between Wilson and Fields, I'm not loving either. I've only heard that when I've seen they've been relatively shit, and then Wilson has been injured during this preseason. So not holding my breath for the Steelers. I also hate the Steelers. So I wish them the worst.
A little bias.
Jonathan Juiceman Shaw, I love you, but I hate your taste in football teams. But yeah, I think they will finish bottom of the division, but I can see a 9-8 record.
Okay, 9-8. That's not bad for a bottom team. So here I got the over/under for their wins on the year at 8.5, and that pays plus 115 for the over. So a little enticing there for those 9 wins. G, what do you think? Is 9 wins their ceiling, or is there more to this team?
I think the books definitely made that line based on their reputation over the last few years. Steelers have always seemed to be that 9-8, 8-9, 8-8. Prior to the 17-game season, they're always in that range. And I mean, they have Mike Tomlin. I think he's one of the better coaches in the league. He seems to keep this ship afloat somehow. But this has to be one of the worst teams that they've had in some time. I think going back to Luca's point, I don't trust either QB to step in and take on a charging role, especially with the cast around them. They lost some wide receiver depth. Their O-line is taking a big hit from last year. And, if they're running for their lives, I think it's going to be a long season. I'll never count Mike Tomlin out, but I think they're going to be under that 9. I have them at 7 wins on the season and finishing last in the division.
Something to consider, they have the hardest schedule in the league.
Yeah. So yeah, it's definitely something to consider. Just quickly, who are they better going forward with, Fields or Wilson?
Fuck. Neither. Fields is definitely, I think he's a great threat on the ground. Wilson probably offers a lot more going downfield, but he's just been such a schlep since he left Seattle, but even in those last couple of years with Seattle as well. I don't even know if I love Pittsburgh's ground game enough to support either quarterback. But I think if I were to kind of put this in the world of modern NFL, scrambling is a huge asset for QBs. I guess I'd have to lean on Fields. And not confident in either.
Fair enough. Let's move on to the Browns. Jared mentioned plus 550, I believe, to win the division. One of the better defenses from last year. An offense that definitely stalled, regardless of who was at quarterback, I think. They have solid talent at both sides of the ball. Will the offense get it going? And what is the problem there? Is it Watson is the question? And we'll start with you, G.
So definitely Deshaun Watson, I think, is the big question mark. Last year being his return, did not really do much. I think definitely outplayed by Joe Flacco, and was really just staying alive at best. So I think that's going to be a massive question mark. Again, with your wide receiver core also in question. Like Amari Cooper did a lot last year. He's one of the older wide receivers in the league now, and he's already you already hear these injuries pop up again. If he can't be an elite form of himself, then the weapons start to diminish for Watson too. The Browns, and I'm not a Browns fan, but they've been dying for something better than the shit that they've been putting on the field. It is absolutely awful, and I don't think it's going to get better this year.
They made the playoffs in the last few years. Credit to the Browns.
I know, but again, Joe Flacco, if it wasn't for Joe Flacco and the way he played, I don't know if they would have made the playoffs last year.
No, totally. He carried them in, but the defense is pretty elite.
Yeah, the defense is elite, and that's why they made it anywhere. And I think with Watson's price tag, what he gets paid, it's definitely fair to expect a lot more from him. And he should make that offense tick. I guess, Chubb's out for at least the beginning of the year, to at least, I would say, probably the halfway point somewhere there.
And I like Ford. Ford's a good running back, but
he's good, but he can't carry the team. Yeah, that's just it. And I guess, with this being a Stefanski offense, they'll probably focus on the run more, but how much are these receivers going to buy into blocking? And I don't know. You just need both assets of the game to move forward there. And I don't know if they'll be able to get it going the way they are. So let's move to the Bengals here. And they were plus 165 to win this group. So kind of close to the Ravens there. And let's see here. They got questions at running back for sure. There's Zach Moss there. And I think Chase Brown's the other guy looking like he'll be in the rotation. They got Gesicki at tight end. He's been regressing over the past couple years, though. And then as wide receiver 3, there's a big drop off after Chase and Higgins. If Burrows stays healthy, and hopefully he does, but does he have more than 2 legit options in the passing game? And if can the running game actually give him some breathing room, or else are they going to still be doomed not to be able to really get things going with him behind center? Luca, I know you're a big Burrows fan, so how do you think this shapes out, and do you think he has enough pieces to make this work?
I think he has the talent. Like we were talking off air about Patrick Mahomes and just how like he makes it work with anyone he has. He'll find a way. I think Joe Burrow is a top 3 quarterback in this league when he's healthy. And not only is he just fucking stone cold clinical, he can find a way. Sure, he is. Before last season, still tons of weapons, options at running back. But I still think if he can be healthy and consistent, then it's between the Ravens and the Bengals for that division. He's a killer. And Chase is a beast. Higgins is definitely out to prove people. I love the draft pick. I think Jermaine Burton from Alabama, 3rd round pick. I think he's a sneaky addition to that team. And I think he'll open some eyes as well. But it really comes down to Burrow. If he's healthy, then the Bengals can really fucking go for it.
Yeah, I think they can. I think the Ravens are a step above still, but I think the Bengals can challenge them for the division. I'll tell you also why. Bengals finished 4th last year in their division, so they have a 4th team schedule basically. So it is a little bit easier. They play the worst teams in the AFC, so I think they'll be kind of neck and neck going there. JR, how do you see it playing out? Does Burrows have enough to compete with Baltimore for the division crown?
Yeah, I mean, like one of the better rivalries shaping up in the league. I love when these two teams face off, and I think, like you mentioned, I think it's going to be tight down to the end. That's the biggest question. You both talked about it. As Joey B going to return to form, he has the weapons to make this offense a success. And yeah, there is, Mixon is definitely going to be a huge loss. But I think this nice little dual head RB system, which I think they're probably going to go with, might work out for them. I think it's an exciting team, but it all depends on how Burrows rebounds. So yeah, I've got them, pretty close. Baltimore just slightly edging them out, but should be one of the top tiers in the AFC.
Over under for wins is 10.5. What are you thinking?
Over.
Oh, that's a good line.
Over. Okay.
I'm gonna go over. Yeah.
And their defense solid too. Their defense isn't half bad either.
Yeah, I think 10's a decent number for them. I think they're right there at 10, 11. I don't see more. And it's just going to be a misstep this way or another. So I'd probably just stay away from that number in general. But
it also comes down to that O-line. Like if their O-line can keep Burrow honest and healthy
and upright,
that's going to be a big thing. They lost Bud there to the Cardinals, Jonah Williams. That'll be a relatively big loss. But if he can stay healthy and avoid A.J. McCarron from coming in, I think the Bengals will bangle. And let me just get that out of the way. We talked about it also off air. I am wearing a very
provocative
unique T-shirt right now. It is one of my homemade,
explicit.
Not a V-neck, but a U-neck. It is one of my pajama shirts. I don't think I'm showing too much, and I'm just going to own it. I'm just going to go for it.
Yeah, I mean, no option but to own it. Let us move on. There's no way to segue. Let us now move on to the Ravens, plus 125. Favorites to take the division. I mean, they were one of the best teams on offense and defense last year. They lose their defensive coordinator, but slightly may have even improved their D-line for what was the 3rd best defense in the league. Kept the scoring really low. Maybe they're not able to duplicate that completely, but their offense is still going to be I think it's going to be a powerhouse. They added Derrick Henry, aging, of course, but at the same time, it's not going to hurt them. I think he still has a lot of gas in the tank, at least another season of it. He'll probably share the load in terms of the carries, but when it's important, I think you're going to see him still break off those big runs. And obviously they got Lamar who can run as well. I think for me, the biggest question is now Flowers, he thrived in his rookie season. in the slot position. A lot of talk about making him the wide receiver number 1 on that team. Can he be successful lining up outside, or do you think he is slot reliant? And is that something that will be important in this offense? Luca, your thoughts?
I think that they'll make him work wherever he has to fucking work. Like, kind of a bullshit answer, but this.
Well, for me, it's just
loaded
he's a little bit
down. He's maybe. I'm not going to say like. Is he going to work better? Kind of coming like flying off the flank than maybe taking some knocks on the inside. He probably better to utilize his speed, just hit those home run fucking passes downfield. I'm really curious though, like you mentioned it before, having Derrick Henry there, and just like you have a defensive line and linebackers, you either have to deal with fucking Lamar Jackson flying through your heart or Derrick Henry coming at you like a minotaur.
Yeah, one guy's going to dance around you and the other guy's going to run through you.
So I think the fact that you have that, that beastly combination coming out of the backfield, Flowers can do whatever the fuck he wants. You can line them up anywhere because they got to deal with what the hell is going to come out of the backfield at us.
Fair enough. Jared, what do you see as the defining question mark in this team? What do you think their season's going to hinge on in terms of they win this division or if they concede it to the Bengals?
So I think back to your previous question, I think it's going to rely heavily on this receiver core. I'm confident in their defense. They have one of the better defenses in the league. Lamar is incredible. And yeah, to your point, Luca, I am so excited to watch Lamar and Henry like work together in the red zone. Like I cannot wait for that duo. But it's the receiver core. Like Zay Flowers is a tiny receiver. I don't know if he could be the number 1. And they were. That's why Bateman. Like I think Bateman has bounced back here. Right? He's got to take the next step. I think they brought him in maybe to hopefully take on those shoes. He's a tall receiver. Mm-hmm. He's got the pedigree, in college. He just hasn't really turned it around. And so I think that's going to be the big question. Because I don't know if Zay Flowers can take on that number 1 role. He worked so well in the slot, and I don't know if they're going to be able to move him out of there. So Bateman's got to take a step forward. If he does, Lamar's got options. And you have a bull behind you. And if you can have some, semi-reliant wide receivers, this is going to be a fantastic team. Definitely Super Bowl bound. I think they can definitely bring it to the end with the complete package.
And the thing is, you don't even need Derrick Henry as your bell cow. You just need the threat of Derrick Henry, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
When it comes to just those Super Bowl aspirations, they were right there.
The play action alone,
the offensive coach, right? Whoever's Monk in there running the offense last year, that came down to him. They fucking were terrible. They were just no creation at all in that AFC Championship game.
Yeah, and they have other options. Keaton Mitchell is a great back. He's a fantastic young back. So
extremely
if they don't have to, if they can play Henry properly, they don't have to run him into the ground.
No, absolutely no. This isn't going to be Tennessee.
Exactly. Just use them when you need to use them in the right spots.
And just imagine having that guy as a threat, and then in the play action game.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
If you're linebackers, you got to bite on that, or else if he does get the ball.
And look,
jamming it down your throat.
We completely glossed over arguably one of the best tight ends in the game in Mark Andrews. He still has him.
Andrews. If he's healthy, sure.
He's healthy. That's a wide receiver.
When healthy, he's still performing at that elite level. So
absolutely. And
he's fantastic. He's a top 5 tight end.
Yeah.
Even Justice Hill's a solid running back option too.
Yeah. No, they have the weapons, they have the pieces. I would really like to see Bateman's take a step forward. If he can, this is a complete team. It's going to be really exciting to watch them play.
For sure. So, Jerry, you said Super Bowl potential, so I'm assuming you're taking them to win this division?
Yes, yeah. They are my number 1, edging out Cincinnati.
Okay. Luca?
totally
You
to
got-
win the division.
Okay.
Going back for the Bengals, it's gonna if Burrow is healthy, then we're gonna get to watch a titanic clash between these two guys
Terrific.
to win that division.
Mhm.
But as Jer noted, as we were heading into Ravens talk, they both, and I think you even noted as you noted as well, Stoff, like they just have a lot more weapons on either side of the ball.
Stacked. They're stacked. Absolutely. So let's go from the stacked to the less stacked. Bottom of division. Who do you guys have? Steelers or Browns?
Steelers.
Jarrett?
I've got the Browns only because of Mike Tomlin. And they're look, I don't know.
Kevin Stefanski's a good coach.
He is.
No, we will see. We will see.
It's not Stefanski. Their defense is arguably top 2, top 3. But
will they be again?
That offense just looks atrocious. So I don't know.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. I think I see that also being a close race, much like the one up top, but maybe Steelers take it. Let's move divisions. Let's head into the AFC East.
Ooh.
And this is a division indeed. For a very long time, dominated by the Patriots, but obviously that has changed in recent years. Although I found this is a very fun AFC East stat that I found. And this is courtesy of The Athletic. We don't want to get sued. So this is what I found while reading The Athletic, which you can too do when you subscribe. The Indianapolis Colts. I butchered that name. The Colts have won as many AFC East titles as the Jets have since 1999, despite playing in the AFC South since 2002.
That's amazing.
Insane. So there you go. The Jets have something to prove with a 40-year-old quarterback. Jared, take us through the odds for this particular very interesting division.
Mute button. There we go. Okay. So we have the Buffalo Bills as your odds-on favorite at plus 170, followed closely behind by the Jets, plus 180. Then you have the Dolphins at plus 200, and the Patriots at, I think, the highest odds in the league, if I'm not mistaken, to win the division at, yes, it is, at plus 2,800.
Ooh, I mean, should that happen, there's some money to be made, but...
Quick pause. I got to take some chicken out of the oven.
All right, this is our first sponsored chicken break. We'll be right. Oh, that chicken break, that tasty chicken. Luca, do you want to shout out a chicken establishment that you hold near and dear to your heart?
Honestly, first one that comes to my head is Wraps on Eglinton.
All right.
Right along Reggae Lane. My opinion, the best jerk chicken in the city. I love that.
Ooh, I got to give a shout out to
slow cook on the oil drum.
I got to give a shout out to Island Spice out in Scarborough, because that is some good jerk chicken, my friend.
Love it.
Lovely jerk chicken. Jer, any chicken love?
Any chicken love tonight?
I made some chicken tonight.
Hey, everybody's on the chicken train.
So I'm going to shout out myself.
Very nice.
I like that. Chicken. That was your chicken update. I believe we're in the AFC East, and we heard about how much money we could make by betting on the Patriots. $28 for every dollar put down. Probably not the best investment. But we'll start with the Patriots. We'll start at the bottom. It's literally the team no one wants. Like Ayuk, they offered Ayuk all kinds of money, and he just said, "Please, no, get me away from here." Ridley did not want any part of it. Judon demanded a trade. Obviously, a lot of people just have QB concerns. They don't think they're a contender, and they're obviously not a contender. Name a positive thing heading into this Patriots season why you would even want to watch. Jer, we'll start.
I don't want to watch. I think this is probably the most boring team on paper. I mean, like, is Juju even going to play? Like, is he even there? I don't even know what's going on with this team. Outside of Drake May, like, and he's not even an exciting quarterback. I don't know. Belichick's not there. Maybe that'll be better. I don't know.
Well, it won't be better for them, I don't think.
No, but just better for me to watch.
Possibly. Less gray hoodie. Luca, your thoughts on your favorite?
Yeah,
New
like
England
I've been
Patriots.
praying for this day
Mm-hmm.
since like 2003.
Yeah.
I fucking hate the Patriots with everything I have. Listen, Belichick, probably the best coach ever. Brady, top 3 quarterback ever. So many fantastic players have come through. Right now, I think they are the worst team in the league. And I don't even think it's fucking close. Drake May, yeah. Possible solid Josh Allen-esque QB potential there. I'd love to see Joe Milton get in some games because I love them in Michigan and Tennessee. But he's been kind of shit in preseason, or at least kind of so-so. Who's the dude at running back? Ramondre Stevenson. Not bad. I think, though, the kid, Christian Gonzalez, he was pretty solid last year before he picked up a nasty injury. But he might be and again, I think, we're used to at least the Patriots defense being solid enough. But from an offensive point of view, they're going to be brutal. They're going to be a nightmare to watch. And I hope this nightmare continues until I die. I hope the Patriots are always awful. And to any Patriots fans, go fuck yourself. I don't give a fuck. You've had 2 decades of like an awful, evil empire. And now you have to now this will prove your fandom. So to all the Patriots fans, hey, stay on the fucking bus, because these next few years, it's gonna get fucking spicy, baby. You're gonna be shit.
All right, so a completely unbiased and fully hinged take there. Although you hit some points. Milton, I heard displaying a cannon of an arm, though not very accurate, but he can launch it.
He has a laser, even with the Volunteers, just like fucking guns downfield.
That could be fun. Yeah. But yeah, Drake May seems their long-term guy, but not much exciting there. I will say this, though, to you, Jer. Does the backfield of Antonio Gibson and Stevenson work, or is this whole thing just doomed? Like, even from a fantasy perspective, do either one of those running backs appeal to you?
Well, I mean, I think you said it perfectly. Just looking at this team from an excitement point of view, if there's no one on the team you're going to draft in your fantasy league, then, I mean, what are we doing? Like, yeah, Ramondre, he's not, I don't think he's a premier running back anymore. He got outshined by the corpse of Elliott last year, who is going to be leading the Dallas Cowboys. We'll talk about that in the next segment. But
big offseason moves.
Yeah. But yeah, Ramondre, I mean, you have Hunter Henry. Yeah, I don't think he's going to get even drafted in the deepest pools. Jacoby Brissett, I think, is actually named as the starter. So I'm sure we'll see May down the line. But
yeah, probably after their bye week.
Yeah, it's just a boring team. They picked up KJ Osborne. I don't know. This is it's not going to be the most exciting team to watch. So that is why they are plus 2,800. Bet wisely.
Plus 2,800. And yeah, not much excitement there in fantasy wise. So let's create some excitement here. They're over under for their wins on the year 4.5, and the under pays plus 120. So they are enticing you for the under a little bit. Do you take that enticement? G.
Yes, you do. I don't see them winning a game in the division. Maybe they squeak out a couple.
Against who though? Like, I don't even.
That's
They have a
what I'm
tough
saying.
schedule.
Some sort of low scoring game, maybe. But
Tough schedule, and I mean their defense is still in the top half of the league, so maybe they can squeeze out a 3-0 win. And they did that a couple times I think last year. I think the under, maybe 2-3 games.
2-3 games. Luca, what are you thinking? Over under 4.5.
Ooh, definitely going to take that under.
You're taking that
Prove
under.
me wrong.
I'm taking the under as well. It's a unison under for the Patriots. Lock it in. So next team we'll move on to here, and this is the Miami Dolphins plus 200 to win the division. And to me, a little surprising maybe because I think they should be the second highest in this division at least above the Jets, but we'll get to that. Dolphins proven they can score points, but can they be consistent against top tier competition? That's been the one knock on them, that the offense does stall against elite defenses. Luca, what do you think? Can they get past that hump? What's holding this team back, if anything, because they've been pretty exciting so far?
I mean, I think bad weather. Like once the weather gets a little colder, then they have to travel out of Miami. Like they got to just win the fucking conference to get to a Super Bowl and play all their playoff games in Miami because they are not a cold weather team. I know I'm going way ahead, but they got a million weapons on offense.
Is that a Tua thing or is that?
Oh, absolutely. He's the maestro of the offense. It comes through him.
Okay.
And so to my point, like tons of offense, weapons all over on their side. But yeah, the defense, unless I think Chubb's still injured, what's his status right now? The defense doesn't really inspire me. They can't Fangio there who went to Philly. And I guess we'll get back to that at some point, or not on this episode. Tease. But zoo. I think they definitely have the tools to win the division. I just don't think they can roll with the other heavies of the AFC. I just don't think the defense is that there. Is that fair there? Enough. Is there?
It's that there over there. And the defense is the question marks. The offenses, they're pretty stacked. I mean, Waddle, Hill, Tyreek, that's a pretty big one. Obviously, A-Chain is their main back, and Tua's been getting it done. Jared, what are your thoughts on this team? And where do you rank them? Do you think that they belong below the Jets, or do you think maybe getting the plus 200 on them in this division is kind of a value play?
You said it perfectly. They are my value play of the AFC anyways, and I am taking them to win the division. I think it could be a coin flip between these top three teams. So the value with Miami to win it is, I think, much better play. The Jets we saw last year, we were one big injury away from being one of the worst teams in the league. So anything could happen there. And Buffalo, I think, is taking a huge step back. I know we'll talk about them soon, but I like the weapons on this Miami offense. I think everyone does. They have some of the most dynamic players on the field in the league. You have Tyreek, who's challenging Olympians now to win races, speaks to his confidence, and it shows on the field. This backfield, if you didn't think that could get better than last year, I think it definitely has. Jalen Wright coming in as your third option, and they've already talked about working him into it with Mostert and H-Han, who, I mean, the health is obviously a big issue, but you have some really, really exciting and dynamic players. Yeah, the defense, Lou, to your comment, Bradley Chubb is still not back yet. So he tore his ACL at the end of the season last year, right? So I think
mid-season maybe.
They did draft a pretty good kid out of Penn State in the first round, Chop Robinson. He's been drawing a lot of love through the preseason. So Maybe he could be a little budding star for them on that side of the field.
Yeah, they might. They definitely need some help because, without Chubb 100%, this defense is lacking. But I mean, it's a team that could score 40 on you easily. If, like you said, if Tua's ready to go, again, we have Waddle on the other side, like we didn't even mention, and OBJ collecting his last couple of checks, I guess, as your third wide receiver. So they have a lot of weapons.
Even Jalen Phillips coming back from an injury too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Another star for them on the linebacker side, recovering from an injury. They're snake. They got to just get over that injury hump.
Yeah. I think if Daniels there, McDaniels doesn't coach himself off the sideline, then they can do a great job. He's a good coach. It's just sometimes I think he's trying to be a little too tricky, a little too cute on the field, and it blows up. But I've got them to win. They're my choice.
Totally, yeah.
I like that. I'm rolling with that as well. Now, we did tease having some guests coming on, and a name has appeared at the bottom of my screen, and it simply reads JOE. And I will now add this individual into the podcasting realm. Joseph, are you there?
Can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you.
Are you at Binder Twine Park? Close to lovely downtown Woodbridge?
Maybe. I don't want to give anything away, I don't want to tell you the exact whereabouts.
I don't think anyone would look for you if they knew your exact location.
Okay.
That's where you're wrong. Our listeners are diehards.
Diehards, man. I just tuned in a little bit.
And one of them's a killer. I'll let you figure out who.
Joe, we are just dissecting the AFC East. We have saved your precious division for last. So just be ready.
Oh, God.
Just be ready indeed. Anything that you would like to add to our Dolphins conversation here? How do you see this Dolphins season playing out?
I definitely think the Dolphins win the East. Easy. The Bills regressed pretty heavy, right? They lost a bunch of players this year. Lost Diggs, and they lost a bunch of players on the O-line as well. Was the rookie? Who else is receiving on that team? Just Keon Coleman and who else?
Kincaid on the tight end.
Yeah, well, Kincaid's the tight end, but
I got him on my fantasy team. I hope he kills it.
In terms of the Bills receiving core, it's pretty much a bit of a crapshoot.
Yeah, I would say I don't think the Dolphins. I think the Dolphins win the division. Jets probably finish second.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Yeah, really? Eh?
I just don't buy the Jets.
Well, I mean, it's all going to come down to how this 40-year-old quarterback looks. And to be fair, we never seen him really outside of a Packers offense. We'll see how they can cater to him here. He's going to have weapons. They should be decent. We'll see if the O-line can hold up. But it really hinges on how he performs, and that's going to be the difference between competing for the division and being probably a version of last year's team. So, I don't know. I'm not sold on them. So Joe's got him in second. Luca, you got him what? Bottom of the division, or not below the Patriots, obviously.
No, Patriots are bottom.
Okay,
I think it could be like a battle between the Bills and the Jets, but I do think the Bills have a little more talent. I love Garrett Wilson with New York, one of my favorite wide receivers. I hope he kills it. Again, he's a fantasy team. I do love from Florida State. Oh, what's his name? On Buffalo. Keon Coleman. Rookie wide receiver. Amazing with the Seminoles. Maybe you know it on a Joe. Like they don't really have a lot of options.
Yeah.
Wide receiver room. Maybe he's.
They lost Gabe Davis too, right? Diggs.
Yeah.
He went down to Jacksonville, I think. So
Yep.
You sound like you're in Jacksonville right now. There's a bit of a southern drawl to Joe.
Yeah.
Am I the only one picking that
it.
up?
I like it.
I love it. I think
I
it's
don't even know
amazing.
who we're on the line with. But it's exciting for all of us.
It's
It's
just
Crow.
a Joe.
Joe the Crow.
It could be
is
Joseph
on the line.
Debonnet out of
Hot
Baton
take.
Rouge.
Which team, which favorite, Super Bowl favorite, does the Crow get to this year?
Oh,
Ooh.
Make them miss the playoffs.
Who do they curse?
Who do they curse? Who
stay
does
in
the
your own
Crow
division,
curse?
Crow.
Yeah, Crow. Stay in your own division.
I have a pick, but you guys go first if you have something.
A pick for what?
So what? So we're
For-
talking about a
for being
Super Bowl
Crow-bitten.
contender?
Oh, Crow bitten?
A contender who flops.
Yes.
I don't know.
I will
I
go
mean,
first.
Won't be the Chiefs.
No.
I mean, so if we're saying if the Bills are a contender, then yeah, I feel that Bills could be that team.
I don't think
I
they're a
wouldn't say they're
contender.
a contender.
Okay, so
I
they're
don't
not a
think the Bills are a
contender.
contender.
I think mine would be the 49ers. I think the 49ers are the odds-on favorite to
Ooh.
win it, and I don't think they get to the Super Bowl.
But I think they're in
They
the
fall
conversation
short,
for the
but they're
NFC
definitely-
Championship.
I don't think they're going to fall on their faces.
I think a team that falls
You're
on
talking
their face.
Lions. Luca's going to say
The
Lions.
Lions. I'm going to say Lions. And listen, both they have weapons on either side of the field. Not loving the quarterback room. Not loving Buddy there to
Think Jared,
kind of carry
Mr.
on
Goff's
where he
gonna
took
blow it?
last year. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just don't buy him 2 years in a row.
Yeah, I mean, I've always been skeptical, but
I think the
past
Packers are going to
couple
be a lot
years he's
better.
proven me wrong.
I think the Bears are going to be a lot better.
Oh yeah, the division
Um,
is a lot harder for sure. And,
and I
we'll
just-
get to that next week, Luca.
Do you see him as like a super consistent QB playing it like to lead that team? And also, Dan Campbell's kind of a fucking maniac. I love that he's crazy, but he cost them the NFC
There's
Championship.
probably
last
only so long that kind of coaching style can be effective for. I think that's the thing. So they got to strike quick.
I hope I'm
Or else
wrong.
Those players probably start wearing a little thin on him. But
Yeah,
we'll see.
totally.
We'll see. Sticking to the AFC East here quickly. So yeah, we all got the Dolphins.
Yes.
Going with the Dolphins plus 200 to win the division. So that's pretty killer. Let's see here. Let's move into, I say we just skip over to the AFC South for now, since
Love
we've
it.
got Titan Joe on the line.
We got Southern Joe.
Southern Joe. But before we get to Southern Joe's take on the Titans, Jared, lead us through the odds to win that particular division.
All right. So AFC South odds to win the division. Houston Texans, favorite. No
Give me a
surprise
break.
from last year's performance.
Bro, the Joe has spoken Mo.
I love Jacksonville at a plus 250.
I do declare.
Do declare.
The Colts. Will Richardson bring them to victory? Indianapolis Colts at plus 320. And Joe's Southern Bells, the Tennessee Titans, at plus 900.
All right, let's cut to the chase here. We start with the bottom team. Joe, how could this happen? I'm just going to say this much before I reveal my thoughts on this team. Do they belong at the bottom of this division in terms of odds? Joe, let us crow.
You got to be kidding me, right? Who made these odds? Buddy.
Mr. Bet 365.
Buddy, they're winning the South.
They're winning the South, both divisions, NFC and AFC.
NFC and AFC. No, it's. I think that it's fair for them between third and fourth.
You're lost in a forest right now.
I'd say the Colts could be fourth, Titans third. Houston definitely the favorite with all the adage. Diggs, Stroud, Tank Dell. They got Mixon now too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, Jesus. Yeah, they're a heavy favorite, but I still that division. It always ends up being competitive. Teams seem to go 1-1, splitting games with each other. So I don't know. Plus the injuries, who knows what's going on? How Diggs is he's what is he 30 now? 29?
Yeah,
He's
one of the
29 and maybe turned 30 this year, but he still looked like he had some pop in his step.
Yeah, so
He's joining a pretty stacked team there. Okay, but so
Defense is going to be better too.
sticking with the Titans, Spears, Pollard, pretty good backfield.
I think that's a good combo. Spears was explosive.
Decent receivers. But so I guess it comes down to Will Levis. Like from what you've seen last year, Joe, what do you think of Will Levis's potential? Is he your quarterback of the future? And can he get something done this year?
I think he's gonna eventually lead those Titans to the promised land.
Okay.
I think you're fucked. Honestly, my big
He's
thing
been
is
drinking the creek water in that forest.
he's been crushing fucking moonshine that he made in the farms of Old
Moonshine
Finch and fucking
mixed-
Kleinberg.
Moonshine mixed with mayo. Let's be honest,
Yeah. What's that haunted road again in Woodbridge? Or not in Woodbridge, but like
Kirby.
Kirby.
Well, you know,
Kirby, right,
they
yeah.
tore
Those-
that down. They tore that down. The house.
Did they tear the farm down?
Yeah.
After
Oh,
Joe's
yeah. I
illegal
saw it on
moonshine
Reddit.
operation.
Yeah,
Yes,
the
they
public
found
light.
him naked one Monday morning
Oh man!
after a
Not gonna
Sunday
find
night
a
bender.
spot? Shit.
Bathing
Blew
in
up your
fermented
spot.
milk. But yeah, I think I think their most important asset, Mike Vrabel, like why fire that guy? That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know much about the coach. That's the coach and the QB are. Those are the
Well, Vrabel
question
threatened
marks,
to
right?
cut his penis off if they didn't win the Super Bowl. I think that just gotta turn some heads,
And they fired him. Jeez.
and they fired him for it.
And they sent him where he belongs, to Cleveland.
Yeah, I think if you guys remember,
Cleveland likes that kind of shit.
his body language when they traded AJ Brown. Do you remember during that draft?
Oh, he was pissed. He
They
was
traded
so
AJ
pissed.
Brown
Oh,
away.
yeah.
He looked like he wanted to set that organization to the ground. Like it was, the hatred was just seeded.
I think it's the Titans they'll be the bottom of that division. This is gonna be like a fucked year for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Like Warren signs a crazy contract.
That's the guy that needs to step up there. Trevor Lawrence.
Absolutely. Like all eyes are on that guy to carry that team.
Well,
on his back.
he's got the abilities. Is just can he fill out that prophecy? Because he makes incredible plays. You see it. He's got incredible potential, and then he'll miss a wide open guy in the end zone. And I don't mean miss by not see him. I mean literally just throw it 10 yards over.
100%.
Oh yeah.
If he can just focus in on those little things, he can be incredible. It's just, will he be able to get it together?
Question is, I'm curious if we go into a QB controversy between him and Mac Jones.
Oh no.
Only if Mac
God,
Jones
no.
puts
Yeah.
Mac Jones
puts Carpenter ants into his jockstrap, perhaps there will be
You know
a
what?
controversy.
I don't understand what
Jones
happened to this guy. He had a
He's terrible.
decent year in his rookie year.
He was terrible. He's a dirty little player.
Go to the playoff.
His teammates
He's
don't
definitely-
like-
don't get me
His
wrong. He's a
teammates
rat
don't like
piece of
him. He's a
shit.
terrible team guy.
He's
This
a rat
is not
piece
even
of shit.
close.
But
Like,
if
Trevor Lawrence would have
Lawrence
to
is-
set a orphanage on fire on Christmas Eve in order for them to prefer Mac Jones over him.
Does Trevor
chance.
Lawrence have any injuries coming into this year? Was his shoulder a problem last year?
I think it's just his brain.
Just his brain.
No, I don't think any injuries on the book.
Oh,
Not
But
serious that I know.
yeah, I don't think his job.
Let me look up his history here. I'm
I
gonna pull
don't-
up his
I don't-
medical records.
I don't really love the weapons that he has. Like, hopefully Travis Etienne takes a nice little step. I like that Southern name, Etienne. Did you like that, Joe?
beautiful.
But
Beautiful.
Yeah, he has to
Lawrence,
pull over. He's hard.
if Lawrence is not fucking performing over the course of the first few weeks, I guarantee you there's going to be calls for Mac Jones, that rat piece of shit, to take over. Mark my words.
I don't know about that. I think he's got a longer leash, but to Joe the Crow's point, the Crow always knows. Shoulder AC joint sprain, December 24th, 2023. So in week 16 of last season. He missed one game after that, so yeah, probably recovered from that. But this website's pretty crazy. It is giving him a 38.1% chance of injury in 2024. Projected games missed 2. So Mac Jones maybe will get 2 starts at some point, Luca, and that should make you very happy when he kicks one of the referees in the face.
Should we make a crazy little bet on the over and under of Mac Jones starts next year?
Ooh,
Okay, I'm going to set it at 2.5.
that's a nice side bet.
2.5.
I'll take the over on that.
So 3 games. Okay.
I think CJ Beathard is going to
That's what Joe's doing right now.
Dr. Beathard is Joe's old nickname. Dr. Beathard.
Slathering himself with barbecue
He still
sauce
plays?
all over his
He's still there?
genitals.
He's still there. He's still there. Yeah.
Do you still have your Beathard jersey, Joe? Your Iowa jersey?
I'm wearing it right now.
Farm Fire?
The Farm Fire.
I wear it every Sunday.
I love it.
Yeah, this team.
We'll get footage of that.
It's it all depends on Trevor. I mean, they added a couple receivers. Gabe Davis.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm not convinced on Gabe Davis.
Is he the WR1 for that team?
He can stretch the field. I mean,
Well, he has to be right now. They got Brian Thomas there, the rookie too,
Kirk,
Yeah,
Brian Thomas.
From LSU?
and Kirk's their slot guy though, and he's kind of a high volume guy. I think it's a decent combo, but
he was
I don't know.
great.
Gabe
Thomas
Davis
might
as
do
your
well.
number one. Like Gabe Davis to me does not like he's
I wouldn't
the
say-
I don't see him
definition
as
of
your
a
number
boom or
one.
bust
I don't
guy.
see. I
think
think
Kirk
they
is
don't
the
have
number
a
one.
one. Maybe Brian Thomas becomes that number one.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. I don't know how he's been doing in preseason.
He's decent enough because he's in the mix for I think the second position right now at least. So.
Yeah, second or third, but
From what I'm reading,
on the field.
Brian Thomas getting a surreal amount of hype amid strong preseason from Jaguars. This is from the Crow Kirby blog.
Oh,
No, it's from the Black and Teal blog.
Yeah.
Hey, that might be their number one, but I don't know if that is going to be solving out. Like those are going to be the big
for
moves.
sure. But I mean, Evan Ingram has been showing up nicely the last couple of years in his role.
It's going to be an interesting season for the Jaguars. I think we can agree, probably not in the conversation to win that division.
So maybe not, but again, plus 250. I took them to win the division only because Houston looks good. They added some weapons, but I don't know if they don't.
Oh, Houston's got to win.
Houston looked terrific last year. They look terrific again. All the hype coming out of camp has been great, suggesting they're going the right direction. For me, is like it's last year they had to outscore a lot of teams, and obviously to win a game you have to outscore the other team. But what I mean is, it just so many high scoring affairs back and forth, and also quite a few times where they had to come back from bigger deficits. When that happens, you're going to have years like last year where it works in your favor. You're going to have years, even if you're a really good team, where it's not going to work in your favor. So that's the one thing where I see a vulnerability here is the Texans for this division is I think they might leave the door open a little bit. You be in a couple close games that won't go their way, especially in the division. And for me, I don't necessarily hate Jacksonville to win this division. I think as long as Trevor Lawrence and that offense can get it going. Last year they were near the bottom as an offense. I think they can improve on that. Defense was mid of the pack basically, but they might just have enough to challenge for the division here if the Texans take a couple missteps, which they might. For me, the Colts is a team I think a lot of people are putting a lot of hype into. I'm not necessarily buying it. I know they made the playoffs last year without their franchise quarterback, so to speak, I guess. But still, again, that's I think was a thing that probably would not work out 2 years in a row. Jonathan Taylor really needs to return to form for them to advance. But yeah, what do you guys think in terms of the Colts and how they fit into this division's puzzle?
I just want to jump on it quick. I
Mhm.
Just a note about the Texans. I feel like because they have a lot of leaders, very young on both sides of the ball. I feel like you make a good point about them making a lot of mistakes that could kind of carry over into this season. Maybe as they gain more experience, they kind of get rid of those fucking Rubish kind of moves. I like D'Amico Ryans a lot as a head coach. You got two just potential superstars, Will Anderson on the defensive side and CJ Stroud. So I think the Texans could be that fucking next team to really take this league by the storm. But who knows? In terms of
will it be this year?
That's what I'm saying. I think they will improve. I still think they still have.
So hold on, but before you move on to your take on
Yeah.
the Colts here, let me just look up their wins total here as at 9.5, I believe, for the Texans.
Wow.
That's it.
Well, 9.5, and then the over is minus 145, or you can take them 10.5 games, and then the payout is plus 125.
They have a tougher schedule.
They have I believe, one of the tougher schedules in
28th
general.
toughest in the league.
Yeah, so there is that. But I mean, so that's exactly, I guess, the question is, can they take that next step here? Because what you're alluding to, Luca, is eventually this becomes a really fine-tuned machine, and we saw glimpses of it at least last year. Can they pull together a full season, or is it not yet, I guess, is the question, because that's what that 10-win thing is going to hinge on, likely.
I still think they have enough elite talent on both sides to take them to the top of that division. But yeah, Joe, I think I'm agreeing with you. That's an interesting number for the amount of wins.
Yeah.
Because I don't see, I would love to see a full season healthy Tony Richardson. I think this guy's can be amazing. But outside of him, I don't like. Yeah, Buddy's got to be super healthy. As what's his name, Jonathan? I think Jonathan Davis, who's the lead singer.
Taylor.
But it's definitely Jonathan Taylor. He's got to be super healthy for them to cause anything. Defensively, they're good. I don't really, outside of the quarterback and running back, I don't love their wide receivers at all.
It's just Michael Pittman, and do they have any other significant weapons on offense?
I mean, they had Josh Downs, who was supposed to, have a good year, but he didn't look great. Alec Pierce is still waiting to break out. I don't like their offense. I think to all of you noted, outside of Taylor, Richardson's going to have to stay healthy. He's going to have an incredible year, but I don't think it'll be enough for this division.
And they had Zach Moss was all right, but he's gone to Cincy this year. So do they have another decent backup?
They have Trey Sermon. Trey
Sermon's there.
You'll likely do nothing.
Evan Hull's there too, who's someone I think that franchise kind of likes, and they like having him around. So you might see him get a few touches here and there, and if someone goes down, he might jump up in there. But yeah, there's Jonathan Taylor's not what he used to be at running back. They're thin there. They got Pittman as a receiver, as you mentioned. They're thin there as well. Josh Downs still there. And yeah, can Richardson stay healthy? To me, those are all no's, and those probably, it's between, for me, the bottom of the division between them and the Titans. Joe, do you want to put a final nail into the Colts that would place them under the Titans?
Oh, God. Well, I mean, the quarterback's a question mark because we don't know how he's going to recover from the injury last year, right? He might just get into week 3 and then might just pop another shoulder out.
Yeah.
JT, the wide receivers outside of Pittman, I don't think they can do much damage. I don't know much about the defense. I don't remember where they ranked last year.
I can tell you right now, they're in the bottom 5 ranking for this year.
5. Oh, jeez. Wow.
Might be a greasier year. This, the AFC North, kind of reminds me of the NFC North in terms of potential.
To be fair, the Titans also at the bottom of the league though in defense, so probably comparable.
With defensive rookie Will Anderson.
Trying to fire Joe up.
But the Mayo,
I'm trying to, Joe, just say what's on your mind. Stop holding back. Lean into these indie fucks.
I just want to lean into the Colts so the Titans at least finish third. I don't see much about the Colts here. I don't see, like, the offense is mid. I don't even say mid. They're like,
I mean,
bottom.
if
10.
Richardson stays healthy, maybe they are this year's Texans.
Okay, so if Richardson stays healthy, I punched in Richardson into that injury website I had, and the results are startling. He is likely to die. No, he's got a 40.4 chance of getting injured this season. So 40.4%. That's quite a bit.
What are they based? Just like trees and.
I think witchcraft is what they base it on. But his durability rating is 2.3 out of 5. So that's pretty bad. He's already had 2 cranial concussions.
Oh, shit.
How's their O-line ranking?
With Florida?
No, this is all his NFL history, I believe. Oh, no, yeah, he has, sorry, in Florida, a game against Georgia.
Okay. Sorry, I interrupted you, Joe.
I was just wondering the O-line ranking for the Colts.
O-line ranking for the Colts.
They should have a solid offensive line. No, they always do.
Let me take a look here. I don't know if I have one for the unit, but their lineup. Sorry, the O-line or the D-line, you said?
O-line.
O-line's pretty decent.
Yeah, okay, so.
Right guard, they're a little bit weak, but they're pretty decent O-line. All right, so I guess, I mean, what are we thinking for division winners? Luca, you're rolling Texans, I believe. I'm
going to go with the Tex.
I'm going to step out there with the Jaguars. Jer?
Yeah, I've got the Jags, again, mostly because of the odds, the delicious odds.
Delicious odds. Joe, who do you got? Are you taking the most delicious odds of all? The Titans at plus 700. You do have to bet 1,000 of your own dollars. That is the only rule we have.
No, give me Houston.
Of your own currency.
All right, so we're split here. 2-2 for Houston. And then we got Jacksonville supporters, the Duval, and me and Jer. So we got one division left here in our AFC divisional preview, and it is the division with the defending champions. This is the AFC West.
This is the most tantalizing one.
The most tantalizing, is it for you now?
I would say so.
Out of the AFC, or is it out of the whole league?
No, just out of the AFC, because I can't wait to see what the Chargers come up with.
Well, I think Harbaugh's going to take his shirt off during a game.
You can borrow one of mine.
Well, the one you're wearing,
you won't have to take your shirt off.
You could potentially have three absolute duds in this division.
Yeah, 100%. Every team not named Chiefs.
Yeah, Chiefs are the odds on.
Here, why don't you read the odds and?
So the Chiefs are.
I don't think anyone's banking on the Broncos at all to do anything.
No, they are not.
Well, I think Sean Payton is going to break that young quarterback of his pretty quickly.
You have no belief in Bo Nix?
He might eat his own eyes.
Yeah, Bo Nix should be watched by his family and friends.
Just got named the starter, Bo Nix.
So, yeah.
Yep.
He'll be
grand opening, grand closing.
KC, KC, no question. Odds on favorite to win the division. The odds on favorite of all the favorites for the division. I'm not sure what I just said. The Chiefs are minus 250. The Chargers behind the Chiefs at plus 350. The Raiders at plus 900, and the Broncos at plus 1,600. There you go.
Okay, so let's start at the bottom. Broncos. Sean Payton has never had a rookie quarterback. And obviously, as you said, Bo Nix named the starter. After causing all that drama last year that he caused when he came over to the Broncos, criticizing previous coaches, then criticizing Russell, and then cutting him basically during the season, is there any concern of how he's going to treat a young quarterback who's coming into this league? He's also known as a player's coach, so maybe it won't be that big of a deal, but some questionable maneuvers last year. Luca, I can see you itching to get at this one. Your thoughts?
Don't even jinx me. I don't want an itch, but the Broncos, we were talking about the Patriots before, like they lack a lot of weapons everywhere. They lack a lot of talent. I don't even know if Peyton's going to last the entire year. He might get fucking cut after like an explosive fucking post-game conference. I don't even know if the team is a fit for him. I think he was buying in like, okay, I'm going to save and salvage Russell Wilson, or we're going to go to the Super Bowl. But I just nothing is mixing well. I think Bo Nix has had like a pretty decent preseason, but I don't think the coach is complimenting the quarterback there.
Fair enough. Joe, your thoughts on this Broncos squad heading into the year?
I mean, not much to be excited about. I think Peyton might have had a point, though. Wilson seems like quite the diva of quarterbacks, though. So,
let's ride.
He wants to get him out of town. Start fresh.
Southern accent again.
They want to get him out of town.
Mr. Joe Devereaux.
Get him out of town, Send off to Pittsburgh. Start fresh with a new QB. I don't know much of what's going on with Denver. They got what? Sutton?
A Brooklyn accent at one point.
Isn't Cortland Sutton gone? Or is he still gone?
Sutton's still there. Tim Patrick's still there.
Mims is gone.
Williams is still the back.
No, Mims is there. Mims is there still.
No, I don't think so.
Mims?
Yeah, he's there.
He is not.
No, Mims
with
is
Jacksonville.
not there. They got Josh Reynolds there. They got Josh Reynolds.
No, I'm thinking of a different Mims.
Marvin Mims. You're thinking of Marvin Mims.
I'm thinking of Denzel Mims. I'm thinking of Denzel Mims.
Denzel Mims. All right. Regrouping here.
You got too hard on the Broncos.
Why you guys were too hard on the Broncos?
I think Joe's too hard on the Broncos.
I definitely was, but they'll definitely finish last night.
Well, it's honestly, so here's my biggest thing. I think they have some pieces on offense. I don't know what Bo Nix is actually going to be able to do. I don't know if Sean can really prepare him there. But this was one of the worst defenses from last year, and I don't think they did much to improve that. So I'm not
lost the guy
expecting a lot.
Didn't they lose one of their big defenders this year recently?
Justin Simmons is gone.
Simmons, right? That was it.
Yeah, he just joined the Falcons, who seem to be going quite all in on that.
Trending upwards.
Now Denver's win-loss total here is 5.5 games. Jared, do you like the over or the under for 5.5 for the Broncos rookie quarterback, bad defense, and all?
So I'm going to take the over on 5.5. I think that there is a chance that this Denver team can finish second in the division. Maybe third if the Chargers can pull it together. They have the weapons to do so, but Bo Nix, he looked good in that connection. I don't know if you guys saw that pass to Tim Patrick in one of the last games. Tim Patrick was supposed to be emerging as one of the elite weapons on that team, and he just could not catch a break and would get hurt early. But he's a fantastic wide receiver, and if he can stay healthy, Bo Nix, pans out to be, one of the better rookies in this class. He's definitely, I think, jumped a few of the QB prospects already from the looks. I think he can succeed. And you know what? Payton's a good coach. Like last year, maybe it was just this conflict between Russ and Peyton, and it just blew up. Like, okay, maybe he's not the best in the media, but he's a good coach. And if he's got a nice, if he's got a good young QB under his wings, maybe it works. So,
well, Bo Nix
is he there for a rebuild, or did he come in because he thought, okay, I'm the final piece to take this team?
Just
AFC contender.
Sure.
Well, I mean, that changed though. You're right, Luca.
Exactly.
Last year, that's what he came in for, but the circumstances have changed. And yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe he's not built for it. Maybe his heart's not in it. But yeah, we'll see what's there in terms of that.
And back
he was
defense,
there for. Were they trying to make a play for Rodgers and then have Peyton there to try and be content? That was the plan.
That was the move.
It could be, but I mean, he's in this situation now, right? So he can either flake out or rise to the occasion and at least get Bo Nix off to the right start. He's looked good. That's all I'm saying, that he's looked good. So if he can keep it going, I think that there's two teams. Like, this division is not great outside of the Chiefs. The Raiders look atrocious. So outside of that defense, that's half decent. Their offense, I don't know if they're better than the Broncos. And the Broncos, yes,
got the mustache.
One of the worst defenses on paper, but the Chargers are even worse in terms of rankings for this year. So,
but still, I mean, they got Bosa and Max still. They got questions in that secondary, but I mean, that's a pretty
secondary.
secondary.
Any improvement in the Chargers secondary?
I think there's got to be improvement for the entire team across the board with Harbaugh coming in, especially on the defensive side. I think that's a guarantee.
Yeah, I think hopefully scheme-wise he can cook something up in terms of just letting them, be a little more dominant in games.
And I mean, they can do it. I think definitely the Chargers have enough what it takes for second in the division, but I don't know. I don't think the gap is as far as the books are.
You mean from second to fourth?
From second to fourth. Well, yeah, just regardless as being pegged as the worst team in that division, right? At plus 1600.
Here is something very fast.
Oh, I think for me, the Broncos are the worst. I don't know. I'm kind of okay with these odds, to be honest with you. This is how I have it, and they're pretty clearly separated. Like, if the Chargers were to finish last in this division, that's a huge failure for Harbaugh and them, I think. They have their franchise quarterback, their established guy. They have a Ravens reunion in the backfield with Edwards and Dobbins there. Without a running quarterback, maybe one of them could thrive even. Who knows?
Who they got on the wide receiver front right now? They lost
Joshua Palmer.
I
think they got that rookie lad McConkey.
He'll be a good Edelman type receiver. He was fantastic with Georgia. And maybe you see a bounce back from Quentin Johnson. I had such high hopes for him when he was rookie year last year.
But I've actually heard from quite a few podcasts this year that he appears to be even below their fourth wide receiver for some reason. So
boy,
not looking great, but QJ unfortunately. Well, DJ Shark also there, but
so the weapons aren't.
So does he have legit weapons? But I mean, if you think Harbaugh's going to come in, he's going to try to establish a bit more of the running game too, which could open up the passing game.
Look at who's leading your running game. They have Gus the Bus Edwards as your top running back.
They got a lot of injuries on
and
that.
Dobbins right there.
And Dobbins, yeah. But that duo between, if Dobbins stays healthy, then sure.
Yeah,
but I mean, he's I don't know how many.
That's a big question mark. He's so good.
Yeah, didn't he tear his ACL last year?
Yeah,
both of those guys.
Let's type in Dobbins into the machine.
Achilles last year, week 2, I think.
Herbert, I still think he has the potential to be
sure.
a top 5 guy.
You have the QB, you have the coach, and I don't know beyond that. Their defense isn't that great. Their secondary doesn't look that good. I don't know if you have a legit number 1 weapon.
Okay,
and to be pegged as number 2, to be the odds-on favorite for number 2 in the league, I just don't know if I'm that confident about it.
So last year for Dobbins, it was an Achilles tear.
Achilles tear last year.
He had a hamstring tear in 2021, along with an ACL, LCL, and a meniscus tear. So shredded. Yeah, it's been rough for him. Chance of injury, 24%. So like with his history, not too bad, but this is crazy. His durability rating, I remind you, this is out of 5. 0.4 out of 5 being the most durable. Like it's as if he just trips over something, it might be over. That's terrifying to think about. But yeah, that's the old injury report. All right, so we talked Chargers.
Being held up.
Barely. We talked Chargers. We talked Broncos. I mean, I heard someone mention Minshew's mustache. Anything more on the Raiders? I mean, I don't know.
They lost
Bolstered their
Josh
DL line a bit.
Jacobs.
They lost Jacobs, yeah. By the way, a lot of questions about Zamir White's role in the offense, apparently, in the preseason. I'm not sure why. But... yeah, I don't know. I guess it's going to be his backfield to lose at this point, right? Like, who else do they have back there?
They got last year's fantasy favorite, Madison.
Yeah.
He could sneak some touches.
Yeah.
Joe's definitely sneaking some touches right now in the Walmart parking lot.
Oh, he left Binder Twine. Touchy touch.
Home Depot.
Touch. Brock Bowers should be interesting to see out of Georgia.
Yeah, I'm excited to see Brock Bowers.
Talent.
I just wish he had.
Michael Meyer and him.
You wish he had a better QB.
Is who?
You wish he had a better QB?
Yeah, I mean,
Minshew didn't have a bad year last year.
But Minshew's not terrible. And here's the thing: even with not a non-elite quarterback who's more of a game manager, I think that's good for your tight end, no?
Yeah,
that becomes a check down guy, and Brock Bowers could very well benefit
especially
from that.
If you have 2 potential good tight end weapons.
Yeah,
for sure. And I think hopefully they game plan for that. Give Devontae some space. I mean, they still have Adams if he doesn't implode on the field.
Yeah, he was a Pro Bowler last year, Minshew.
Was he? He made the
Pro
Bowl? Was good with the Colts.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but hold on, Luca. Wasn't it one of those where like 7 guys turned it down?
Still was named to the Pro Bowl. Still counts.
Like they called me to a Pro Bowl on here. Like just couldn't make it work.
They called Vernon Adams Jr. for the British
Speaking
Columbia
of Pro
Lions.
Bowlers, 4th on the QB depth chart for the Raiders, Nathan Peterman.
The shirt's also ripped over here as well.
Bills legend.
I can't figure it out.
This is
right here.
Luca, you're gonna. Oh Lord, we're banned from YouTube. It's
red wine.
Okay, whatever. We talked about the 3 other teams in this division. Anyone got any theories on the Chiefs? To me, they just got stronger. Added a speedy wide receiver.
Yeah, like
Kelsey is taking all kinds of Taylor Swift potions in order to extend his career. Mahomes is Mahomes, behind the back passes.
One final thing on the Broncos.
Okay, ignore my Chiefs fucking setup for this entire fucking conversation.
Not football related.
Back to the Chargers. I just wanted to add
we're done with
that. I think Dobbins' rating should be 0.4.
Will the Nashville Predators trade Askarov? No, this is really interesting. So this is their ownership group. So 3 of the owners are connected with Walmart, Rob Walton, and then 2 other people who are connected with the whole Walmart royalty.
Sorry,
Condoleezza Rice. This is the Broncos. Condoleezza Rice, Lewis Hamilton, and one Melody Hobson. Who is Melody Hobson, you might ask? Current chair of Starbucks, former chairperson of DreamWorks, and not only just like a total corporate maestro, the wife of George Lucas. Right?
1 ring to rule them all, buddy. Thank
May the
you for
fourth be
that.
with all of us.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I still wish I didn't.
You love it. I know Jared does.
I do enjoy that.
But maybe
I'm sure you did. Chiefs win total 11.5 over under. G, we'll start with you.
This division is disgusting outside of the Chiefs, so I'm gonna go over. Even though, what was their win total last year? Because I feel like they didn't have a cakewalk into the playoffs.
Well, no,
11 wins.
They had to win out in order to. I mean, they ended up winning out, but they had a bit of a shaky midseason, I would say.
Yeah,
It was a defense that got it done for them.
and the defense is even better this year.
Parts, yeah.
Yeah, they have a top 5 defense. They have a top 5 O line. The best QB in the league.
11 wins last year, so
11.
can they better by one? I would assume they can, considering the quality of their team was probably closer to like a 13-win team last year.
Yeah,
and just like that, the crow said no mo. I think the parking lot police came and tapped on Joe's window.
Yeah.
Therefore, removing him from the podcast. Sir, put your pants
doing
back
out
on.
and about? Like, it's almost 12.
I heard that left turn signal a couple times. I think we know where he's driving around.
He's just prowling around Immaculate Conception, sniffing around Aberdeen.
Oh, hold on.
Freaking
He's
out.
back. He's back from his conflict with the police.
Okay, we're good.
We're good. Pants are back on. Joe, before clearly
back off.
Clearly, your time is numbered here, so you answer me this: 11.5 KC Chiefs wins this season, over or under? Gun to your head.
Over. Definitely over. Yeah, they're too strong. Offense,
Too strong.
defense. Yeah, the division that's 6 easy wins. Andy Reid always has a solid game plan. Mahomes is Mahomes.
Yep.
Over for sure.
Over. Luca, you like the over as well?
Yeah, I would say so. That's going to be a crazy, wacky division to watch. But yeah, the Chiefs, like we said, right at the top of this, they're the team to beat. Oh man, I'm looking forward to seeing that Mahomes-worthy connection. He was one of my favorite wide receivers in college over the last couple of years at Texas. And I know we hyped Sky Moore in the past. It's like, okay, he's going to be the big wide receiver to take over. But
it's a different type of speed, though.
No doubt. But Worthy looks fucking amazing. He's got not even just speed, like he can fucking fly in the air. He's great.
He's just got he's got stuff that Andy Reid can basically game plan around.
Oh yeah, totally.
Like they'll be able to create some real looks and stuff. It'll be quite incredible.
It'll be interesting to see where Kelsey kind of goes. Is this going to be a season where he just
they got to lessen his workload in order for him to be more successful? They have to lessen his workload. The numbers could go down, but
for sure. But they can
be a threat.
No Gray.
Yeah, they can do. They can spread that ball.
Tight ends, they don't need to rely as heavily as they used to on Kelsey. So, healthy Kelsey is what you want, and I think they're just
as long as they got him as the touchdown option. He's probably got a bunch of
in the red zone,
plays,
lethal.
Yeah, a bunch of red zone plays going for him, and they're good.
And Pacheco, you know what? Pacheco can step up. Like he's a good back.
He's a good back. He's a good receiving threat.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see what happens with Rice, whether he's going to get suspended or not, or something, or get another speeding ticket on driving the same roads Joe is at right now.
Joe, watch out for Rice.
If he's not able to play, they picked up Hollywood Brown too.
I think he's injured though.
But not for how long is he injured for? He's not on the pup.
Oh yeah, I did see that at one point.
I think he'll be okay for the start.
Yeah, I don't think it was long because they didn't put him on the pup.
Who's behind Pacheco right now?
They have Clyde. Clyde's still there.
Edwards-Hilaire's still there.
CH. Very true.
And then their third running back, arguably one of the best names in the game, Carson Steele.
Carson Steele, and then there's Deneric Price. So those, just on names alone, these guys could probably make it. I would sign Deneric Price to a low league minimum deal at least, just to see how it works. 4.41.
I just want to see.
I just want to see him.
I just want to know him. Generic, show me your face.
They do have Kadarius Toney still on the roster. That could be an issue. But...
Oh man!
Well, I mean, they barred him from the Super Bowl basically. So
yeah, what a fucking dongo.
I don't know. Maybe Reed can still work with him somehow, but it's not even just the attitude, drop issues, and you know, he had that infamous offside call. Like, how often do you see an offense get called for lining up offside? Like, you have to be really fucking offside. But like 3 yards in that touchdown that Kelsey ended up throwing, it was a crazy play taken off the boards. And so, like, I don't know. I just don't know how you try to work that guy back into your rotation when you have seemingly some other weapons. Like, I'd rather give you mentioned Sky Moore before. I'd rather give Sky Moore another shot before Kadarius.
Is he even on the roster?
Yeah,
Moore is.
I know
absolutely.
he's there.
He's there, but yeah.
Yeah, you have
Not much to show in
too.
his first 2 years, and less to show last year than the year before. So,
yeah, I think we can agree they'll win that division. Barring
they'll be okay.
anything crazy, barring a resurgent LA Chargers. Do we want to go into maybe
the
who we
conference?
see? Yeah. Conference. The last two teams.
Okay, well, so
into
who
the
here
playoffs
does?
in that conference?
Oh, so you're saying the wild card teams, basically?
I guess I think we went through the division winners, and then who do we see contending for that
playoffs?
AFC Championship game?
Okay, for the championship game, well, I definitely got KC in there. I think the path to the Super Bowl goes through KC in the AFC. And my other team...
That's a fair assumption.
This is tough. Here. Well, I'll ask you guys this. Does anyone here not have KC in their AFC championship game as of right now?
I think the smart money goes with KC for sure.
Yeah, I've got a repeat from last year's
Chiefs Ravens
championship finals. Yeah, those are my two top teams in the AFC. So
yeah, I got Chiefs Ravens too, unless the Texans really continue to do what they can do and shore up a bit on defense. To take that next step, then it could be Chiefs Texans for me.
And the same goes for Miami, especially on the defensive side.
Yeah, Miami as well, potentially, and there's a super long shot for me, the Jags, but I don't think they have it in them this year.
Well, also, a healthy Burrow, Bengals are definitely in the mix, but I think class of conference, Chiefs. I'm just talking over Joe.
Joe's screaming about the Bengals. He does not like it.
Go ahead, Joe.
No, I was just wondering. I clearly missed the AFC North. What were your thoughts on the Bengals this year? Because apparently,
let's just redo that entire segment for you. Lucas started off by saying hello.
Yeah,
welcome to
let me get
Hot
the transcript of this call. I'll put the chicken back in the oven. Recreate the entire situation.
Please do.
Oh, that was delicious chicken.
Well, I think overall we agreed. Ravens class that division. Healthy Burrow goes head to head with Lamar. Steelers likely at the bottom, barring any strong Cleveland hate from Jer.
Questions on running back potentially. They benefit from a fourth place schedule, so easier schedule this year. They could be right there with the Ravens, but we all had the Ravens taking that division. Joe, do you disagree? Is that why you brought it back to the AFC North?
I think the Ravens will win the division, but I kind of think Cincy maybe makes the AFC title game with Kansas City.
Ooh, so they win a couple on the road, and then go to the Arrowhead.
I like it.
Head of the Arrows. Okay.
Burrow
Okay.
could go down.
I wouldn't mind that matchup either. That'd be a great game.
That's what they call a tasty treat. Alrighty. So we've all got KC. Is that what I'm hearing? We've all got KC in that championship game.
Yes,
Yeah.
for sure.
And then where it's between the Ravens, Bengals, no one's got the Bills, I'm assuming.
No, I think the Bills
No.
are going to take a nice
They're
step
third,
back.
they're third in my division. I don't know if we went through that, but yeah.
Bills. AFC Championship. They got the Steelers here 25-1. I don't think that's happening. Colts 28-1. That's crazy talk. Yeah, probably the Chiefs conference to lose at this point.
Got a chicken bake.
I got Baltimore defeating them, though. They're my AFC champion.
Oh, you got them heading to the Super Bowl.
I do.
All right. So, Chiefs or Ravens, can they be the Super Bowl champions? What's the threat from the NFC, I guess?
I guess we're going to have to get into that on another episode.
Ooh.
Very much true. Joe, since you joined us late, any parting thoughts or words or predictions for the AFC before we put a bow on this conference?
Let's see. Deshaun gets arrested. Cleveland Browns finish last. In the North, maybe I'll go if everyone's going. Maybe I'll pick the Bengals to come out of the AFC.
Okay.
Right with Burrow.
Ruin our unison. Okay.
KC still in the championship game, but I think Burrow can upset the Chiefs at Arrowhead.
Ooh, okay.
What else? Houston, definitely. South Colts. I'm gonna put the Colts in the basement.
Where they belong?
Yeah, I think so. Titans third. I don't know. Jags. You guys picked the Jags, or I don't think they're good enough. I don't even know if they're good enough. Do you think they'll be a wild card? I don't know.
Well, here's a question. Do you think any other of those teams, other than the team that will win that division, the AFC South, make the playoffs? Like, is there a wild card team in there?
I think if the Colts and Richardson take if Richardson is healthy, I think he could be like the bounce back player of the year.
Maybe. I don't know. I would say likely like you got Baltimore, Cincy, Jets, Dolphins. Maybe they can get one of them. Maybe can sneak in.
Oh, so you have the Jets potentially as a wild card.
Yes.
And the Dolphins, yeah.
Yeah, I think Dolphins win the East, but I think the Jets can sneak in there as a wild card for sure.
Can the AFC East have 3 playoff teams? So a division winner and 2 wild cards. Like, can the Bills, Dolphins, and Jets all get in? Or are the Bills taking such a step back that they're not in the conversation for you guys?
I see maybe 3 teams. If there's going to be a division with 3 teams, I can see it from the AFC North.
I was going back and forth there.
If the Browns, steady, Ravens, Bengals. Yeah, I mean, yeah, sure.
The Browns can get steady quarter. Like, they made the playoffs with fucking Flacco last year.
Yeah, that's
true. If they can get steady quarterback play, their defense can keep humming. They can come out of that division.
So you like the Browns over the Bills, basically? If I would say so.
Yeah, I think the Browns. I think their greatest strength outweighs.
See, I agree with some of your logic there, but when I put them side by side, I have a hard time because at the end of the day, Josh Allen's top 3 quarterback in this league.
Who is he working with on that team?
Okay, but
he's got nothing to work with
too. Like, again,
he's got Kincaid. If the play calling's good, if they can actually involve the running game, I think they can find some receivers on that team. Yeah, I don't know. Like, they will take a step back. They got injuries on defense, But I don't know. I feel like Josh Allen is still Josh Allen. They'll definitely compete for a playoff spot. Where I feel like for the Browns, Watson really has to take a step out of the gutter for them to compete for a playoff spot.
But to your point, Josh Allen being Josh Allen, I could also see him trying to do everything himself and going for a run on a plane, getting knocked into oblivion.
No, that's true, but that usually doesn't happen until the wild card game on a fourth down where he runs backwards for 20 yards. Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, yeah. So AFC West, I don't think anyone else makes the playoffs outside of the Chiefs. Pretty safe bet there, I think. Yeah, I believe we covered it all, gentlemen, and now there is nothing left to be covered.
Except for the NFC, which we will.
Yeah, well, same bat time, same bat YouTube channel. On behalf of Joe, Luca, G, and myself, we thank you. Till next time.